All right, H4 community, I want to give you some advice and tips when traveling. Now, this could be for traveling for work purposes, or it might be just a few days or hours in a location, or you might be just traveling for fun, right? With the family, with your spouse, with your friends. Whatever the case may be, sometimes it can be a challenge to stick with your nutrition and eating habits when you travel. So I want to help you kind of have the best strategies and mindset going into that trip. And the first thing I want to tell you is enjoy yourself on these trips, right? I mean, I'm not telling you when I go on a trip that I eat perfectly clean, right? No, you're going on a trip to get away, to enjoy yourself, to indulge, to try different cuisines. By all means, do that, but don't fall completely off a cliff, right? You still want to maintain some balance, even if it might be a little bit heavier on the maybe more lenient side than you would if you were at home. You still want to make sure you're getting in proper nutrition, especially if you are exercising while you're on vacation, which hopefully you'll get some exercise in if it means more of a quick workout versus your longer workouts at home. So let's start with best snacks to really travel with when you go to the airport, when you get to the hotel, just snacks to have. And what I want to say to that is most airports nowadays, it's 2023, have very healthy selections. Sure, they have McDonald's, sure they might have Chick-fil-A, sure they all have those type of foods, but so many of them now have the healthy snacks, the shakes, things like that. So always look for those healthier options. But when we're traveling and you want to bring your own, here's some go-tos. What are we always trying to focus on? Protein, right? We need protein. Protein builds lean muscle mass, keeps you full longer. So that's something that you want to make sure you always have protein source. One of the easiest ways to travel with a protein source is good old beef jerky. Now, if you don't like beef jerky, do turkey jerky, do salmon jerky. If you don't eat meat, there's plant-based jerky now. Try to go for a grass-fed. Try to go with very low sugar, if any. This is one of my favorite brands, Country Archer. But it's easy to pack, right? It can last a while. You can use it on a hike, wherever you're going. Highly recommend to do that. Second thing, I like to build my own trail mix. A great brand with chocolate covered nuts, just chocolates in general, is the Hu brand. Very clean ingredients. Buy some of their chocolate covered nuts, their chocolate covered berries, mix it in with a just plain mixed nuts, and there you go. You got protein, you got a little bit of sweetness in there. Makes for a great snack, whether you're hiking, you're in the urban environment. Highly recommend that. And then we want to make sure we're staying hydrated. You know, Elements One electrolyte mix that I like. There's many others out there. Flav City does a great one. Bring some packets of hydration. And then if you can, one of the hardest things when you're on vacation is getting in your greens, right? Your vegetables and your fruits. I know I struggle with that. I feel like everybody does. So one of the best ways to combat that is to do some sort of greens blend. Now, you could bring actual container like this. This is Amazing Grass brand. There's Athletic Greens. There's lots of other quality brands. So you could bring an actual container, or a lot of these brands sell just little packets that look much like this packet for the electrolyte mix. Bring those with. You can add them to a water bottle and go. At least you're getting some greens. At least you're getting some nutrition. So that's some tips just in terms of traveling with snacks, airport, in the car, moving out and about when you're traveling. Now, what about tips when you're eating out, when you're on the road and traveling? Well, one of the best strategies is to just look ahead, right? If you know you're gonna be eating at XYZ restaurant, look at the menu online and start to come up with a plan. Maybe you're doing a road trip, you're in the car. Look, okay, we're gonna be traveling along this road, going here, going there. Let me find some spots that we can specifically stop at that I know I can at least find something that's a little bit healthier. So be a little strategic, number one. Number two, when you get to restaurants and you're out on the road, always look for protein and vegetables. And if you can do a quality carb, great, but at least go for the lean protein. And a lot of times vegetables, just ask for plain. If it might have sauce or cheese, this or that, ask the server for plain. When we're looking at salads, go for dressing on the sides, aim for vinaigrettes over creamy dressings. And again, just focus heavily on the protein side of things versus loading up on the carbs or those bad appetizers. So those are just a couple quick tips when you're traveling. Again, enjoy yourself when you travel, live it up, do what you want to do in terms of eating, but don't completely fall off the wagon, right? Listen to those tips that I talked about for traveling foods. And lastly, final tip here is when you get to your destination, look to see if there's a grocery store near you. And if there is, go take a quick stop, pick up some bananas, maybe some apples, right? Like fruit that can travel well, it can sit in your hotel, or if you have a hotel fridge, go pick up some of these snacks that I talked about. Maybe you can get even some meals that you could throw in the fridge, and that way you have a little bit more control over what you're eating. So there you go. There's the tips. Hopefully that helps. Safe travels.